Now comes the DNA replication. What is the method of replication?
What do you mean?
What's the mechanism? So when they say what is the mechanism, what is the two words that you must give?
I got no idea.
Semi.
Conservative.
Yes, conservative. So DNA replication, these two words must pop up in your mind.
Okay.
Okay, now what's the meaning of semi?
I don't know.
Semi means what?
Half.
Half. Exactly. Conserve means
Cat.
okay, intact.
Yeah.
It means no change, right? Okay, so you're supposed to prove or show or explain that DNA replication is half conserved. So what's the meaning of half conserved? Okay, so it started like this. Okay, so the other term that you must use is complementary strand. Okay, so the other strand, if this is one polynucleotide strand, the other strand can be known as the complementary strand. Okay, now when you say base pair, what's base pair? Base pair is just now this diagram here, right? Okay, where's the diagram here? Like that is a base pair. Like that is a nucleotide pair. Okay, so you see the change in the word. So every time you say base pair, base pair, base pair, they ask you to circle. Sometimes they ask you to circle one base pair. So you make sure that you only circle up to the bases. If they ask you to circle one nucleotide pair, then you have to go all the way out and circle it.
Okay.
So what you learn from here is your vocabulary must be exact. You cannot, like in my mind is these two. I want to say these two, but I call it nucleotide pair, and then you expect the other person to think that these two.
Okay.
So this is about communication. So at A level, you are a specialist in biology. So therefore, when you communicate with the entire community, right, we have to use the term very correctly. You cannot say it. Students like to say it, 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 it. Everything is it, and then you don't know what is the it that they're talking about. All right? The differentiation, every term, the differentiation of every terminology is the reason why when students write, they write a lot, they don't get marks because they are not using all this terminology correctly. That's one. And they are not putting all this terminology into the answer. Okay, so now I'm supposed to show semi-conservative replication. This one is usually 2 marks or 3 marks. So how to write DNA replication in 2 marks or 3 marks? If you look at your notes, right? Your whole notes is probably 6 to 10 pages, DNA replication. Now they ask you to explain semi-conservative replication in 2 marks, 3 marks. How to? So you remember the whole chunk of DNA replication, right? That's your whole chicken.
Oh, shit.
So you bring your whole chicken into the examination and then, 2 marks. How are you going to now take the thing? So only in the exam, then you try to find which is the 2 marks or 3 marks that you want to put in. Too late or too slow. Okay, so it starts here like that. So we call this parental DNA. Why do we call it parental? Why do I call
Uh,
it parental?
First, like it'll be the template for like a new.
Okay. So the one that start and then give birth to something is always the daughter. So it's always parent, daughter. Same as mitosis, right? Parent cell, daughter cell.
Okay.
Okay. So the pattern is like that. Whenever you start first and then later on there's a daughter, so it's a parent. So this is a parental DNA. In mitosis, parental cell give rise to two daughter cell. So here is parental DNA, or sometimes you will see this one, the original DNA. So that means I have to use the term to refer to the original one. This is the parental DNA, double-stranded DNA. Okay, so this is how it first started. Then, what does it do? It will, like that is called what?
Um,
Okay, or I draw this at first and then become next one, two straight like that. So what are they trying to show here?
Split.
Split some more, but before it's split, if it's in like
Um,
that, if it's twisted, you have to,
Unwind.
yes. So this two word is different meaning, right? Unwind means you straighten it.
Oh,
So from the helix, you straighten it, unwind. That's why you use the word unwind and unzip.
oh, so they're still together at this point.
Unzip already means not together already.
But the unwind is still together.
Yes. Okay. Unwind. So that's why it's like, do I put unwind or do I put unzip or do I put unwind and unzip? These two words carry different meaning now. Okay. So we put these two words means we are saying that the helix initially is twisted. So it unwind and unzip. Okay. If you don't want to use unzip, you can use what other word?
Uh, Separate. Oh.
Yeah, separate. Okay, now, so the parental DNA, okay, the double helix, unwind and separate the two strands.
Okay.
Okay, so when I say separate the two strands, I'm referring to the two. Initially, they're together, right? So now you separate the two strands.
Okay.
After you separate the two strands, so this one here, this one here, what's the next step? Is you synthesize what? Now, what do you call this now?
Daughter strand.
Okay, so now you will synthesize. What is the relationship between the two strands? Okay, before that, I will say the template first, right? Okay, so the black one. Now, what do I call this? This is the
Strand.
template or template strand, right? Okay, then the new one is called the daughter strand.
Okay.
Okay, so that means you have in mind first all these words. Then after that, how do I formulate the sentence? Okay, so I would say both. You see the two strand after it's separate, right? The parental strand after it's separated, is it only one or both act as template?
Both.
Both. Okay, so both parental strands act as template to synthesize the complementary daughter strands. Do you see that?
Mm.
Then third step is this one by now would have completed already. Now, where is the conserved strand?
The template strand.
Yes. So now you see the template or the parental strand is conserved. Now, this one here, what do you call it? When you have one intact and one new strand, this is called the hybrid, right? Okay, so hybrid means it has two things that combine together. It has the original strand and one original and one new.
So you
So
call it a hybrid.
this is a daughter DNA, right? So just now, if it's one strand, it's a daughter strand. But now these two are daughter DNA. So the daughter DNA consists of one original strand, which is conserved, and one new strand, or one newly synthesized strand. So that means half semi-conservative. Where is the semi-conservative? One strand remains conserved. The other strand is new.
Okay.
That's why it's half conserved, half intact.
Okay.
So you have to show that in 2 to 3 marks, like that.
But show the whole thing. Oh.
In 2 to 3 marks, like that. Okay. So meaning what? You don't talk about the DNA pole do this lah, Okazaki, the DNA ligase do this lah, primer lah, and all that, because this is only 2 to 3 marks to describe the whole process. So therefore, you go into very key things to show that it's conserved. That's all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we pause here first so that I'll show you the question. Okay, like this one here. Use the two figure. Describe the evidence. So you see, when you learn like that, right? Now when you see the question is like that. Describe the evidence. So you have to, how do you answer this kind of question? What is the proof that you can see in figure 3.1, 3.2 that DNA has anti-parallel strand? Now let's look at 3.2 first, because we covered 3.2, right? Okay. How to know from 3.2 that DNA has anti-parallel strands?
Because of the structure. The
Like
pencil.
that, you talk like that, you got no marks.
Wait,
So you study everything already, you go into the exam hall, you got no marks.
oh my god, because
First, tell me how to show the anti-parallel. What is there to show the anti-parallel?
the 3 prime and 5 prime carbon.
One strand is,
One strand is in the
okay, so can you tell me where is the 5 prime, 3 prime end?
the 5 prime is at the phosphate.
This side, right? 5 prime end, right? Okay.
The 3 prime is at the bond linking to the second phosphate.
Okay, this is 3 prime. The other side, eh?
Then the other one is 3 prime at the top.
3 prime at the top.
And then 5 prime at the phosphate.
Yeah. So now because you know how to label the carbon, starting from that one, that's why you know even in the picture that has nothing, you know which is the 5 prime, 3 prime end. Okay? All right. Now, how do you know that this side is 5 prime? What is the evidence in the picture to show you that?
They labeled it.
No, figure 3.2, they didn't label for you. You go and label it. But why do you label this as 5 prime? Why do you label this as 3 prime? What do you see?
The carbon that is linked to the phosphate.
You look at the nitrogenous base or the sugar or the phosphate.
Of phosphate.
Huh?
The sugar.
So what is there in the sugar to tell you that is in the opposite direction?
Mm. Uh,
Evidence, evidence, that means what tells you.
mm, Wait, isn't it? Isn't it just the 5 prime and 3 prime part?
Yeah, how do you know that the 5 prime is there?
Because it's where the phosphate is.
Okay, where the phosphate is, but there's a phosphate here also what? There's a phosphate here also what?
But like at
Huh?
the top, at the top, the phosphate is like
Yeah.
off.
You see it? We always look at this one. This one is all like that, right?
Ah.
So it is it's the direction of the pentose sugar. You see, one pentose sugar is all pointing upwards, the other pentose sugar is all pointing downwards.
Okay.
So that is the evidence that tell you that, okay, is the other way. Okay, so out of the 3 marks, right? So when you answer, from now onwards, when you answer your first mark, put a 1 there. All right, don't lump everything together into an essay. So from 3.2, when you write like that, when I teach you how to write, I teach you how to write A. How to get an A?
A.
A grade.
Okay.
You have to catch up, okay? Because I don't teach you to, this is write like a C grader first, and then when you reach a C, then write like an A grader. No. When I teach you that if you want to get an A, this is how you write. Whether you want to do it or not, I cannot control it. Okay? Yeah. Some students will be like, you write like that. Yes. Okay. Whatever that I teach you, if you follow, I can guarantee you an A. Your teacher cannot find fault with the answer. Okay. But it means that you have to discipline yourself to actually show, because a lot of students are not answering the question. What did they say? They want what?
Visible.
Evidence that is visible, right? Do they want theoretical knowledge?
No.
No. So they want to know that what did you see in the picture? It must be visible. So what is visible here from right? The direction. Okay, the direction of the pentose sugar is pointing in opposite direction. Okay, hinting that is anti-parallel because they are pointing in two opposite direction. Okay, na? Do you see like that? When I write like that, I am telling them that's how I see. That's how I get my visible evidence. Okay? All right. Then from the other side, what did you see here? This one, you literally see the from 3.1. What do you see? That the two strands, that one strand is running in 5 prime to 3 prime direction. The complementary strand is in 3 prime to 5 prime direction. Okay, so here the picture tells you, right? You see here, this strand 5 prime, the other strand 3 prime. Okay, so why I put this, that means I tell them where I get the thing from. So you see here that this one is going, one strand is going in 5 prime, 3 prime. The other, the complementary strand of the DNA is in a 3 prime, 5 prime. Second evidence. You see or not? That's why you study and memorize also no use one. When the question come out like that, it is not what you memorize. Because when you memorize and you put it in there, then what happened is it is not an evidence that is visible. Okay? Now, where is the third mark? Huh? The third point is, that means the third piece of evidence came from where? Came from here. 3.1 again. Okay, now what do you see here? This strand here is what? Ding, ding, ding. The newly synthesized strand is no break one, right?
Yeah.
Here got how many strands? The other one. You see here got one strand, right? This is one Okazaki fragment.
Oh my God. Okay.
Then here got another Okazaki fragment. Where is it? Ding, ding, ding. Here. Okazaki fragment 2. And then here, Okazaki fragment 3. You see that? 3 different segments. Okay, na? So meaning that from 3.1 again, one daughter strand is synthesized continuously. The other means the other daughter strand. Okay, all right. The other daughter strand is synthesized this continuously in opposite direction. Okay, this one is synthesized in one direction. Okay, meaning what? This one is like this. Okay, one direction, I keep going in one direction. The other one is coming from here, going down, going down. This one is synthesized in this direction. Do you see?
Yes.
So that's how it's showing from this table that the DNA has anti-parent. So you see how the question can be totally different from what you learn. When you learn, it's like, oh, everything is straightforward. But when you answer the question, it's not straightforward. Okay, now? So when I answer, this is another skill. Look at the question. They say, describe the evidence visible. So this is the keyword. It has to be visible. And I don't let them guess where I see the thing. You see it not? I will tell them from this figure, from that figure, what I see. I will send this to you later on.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you learn during lesson is how I understand the question and how I answer to the question. A lot of students like to say things, but they just say whatever they want to say, but they are not saying what does the question want. So you have to answer exactly to what the question want to guarantee your mark. Okay? To guarantee your mark.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can write somewhat near to something like that, then it's hard to assign marks. It's like, okay, so you give me all these things, then you will look at your answer, but hey, teacher, I also have this. But why you didn't get the marks is you're not using visible evidence.